Hi, my name is Jason Mays. I'm the chair for Beck-Link Committee, and this is a lesson on weekly work plans. So the last lesson that you hopefully got to see, or you've already experienced, is pull planning. You create the master schedule, the detailed master schedule through pull planning. You have it posted in the same room where you meet and where you come together with either your trade partners or your consultants, whether you're an architect. And so you have that posted for reference. And so that's what we have here is we have our pull plan still posted over here, and we've got floor plans posted, but then also we've got this marker board. And this is a nice planning room. Many projects do not have anything like this, but there's a way that you can get by that with the movable marker boards, maybe a double-sided marker board that moves around. I would recommend using tape. I drew on this one simply because I couldn't make this permanent, but you can tape off the quadrants so that you can make sure you're utilizing the space. You can write in and do all kinds of things and not erase the lines. Another thing is you want to have enough lines for each of your trade partners to have their own column line there. I've broken up, or these are rows, I've broken up the column lines based on the days of the week. So we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I've added one for the weekend work as well that you might want to track. The last one is called PPC, and we'll get to that here in a bit. So we've got the colors associated with each of the companies. So blue is concrete, as we determined earlier. Orange is electrical, green is plumbing, and yellow is structural. Now the goal of the weekly work plan is to get more into depth of planning each day out. So in our pull plan, as you may remember, our plumbing underground was going to be a task for 3 days. This was a task that we agreed upon in the pull schedule. It talks about what the duration is going to be, 3 days. It talks about what's required beforehand. And we determine where it's going to be in the schedule. So in the weekly work plan, what you do is you break up by each day what the tasks are going to be and where you're going to be working in the project. So for instance, grade beam, form, and excavate, that was a 3-day duration. I've got it broken down to, on Monday, they're going to be working at from column lines 1 to 4. On Tuesday, from column lines 5 to 10. And on Wednesday, from column lines 11 to 15. So this helps determine where exactly they're going to be working, where other people need to be careful of that, and also what we can do to help track and make sure that they have done what they said they were going to do. When you move inside to the interiors, as if you're on a construction site, then it might be by room, it might be by quadrant, however you break up the project. Now, one thing we've determined in this project is to break it up by quadrants for certain areas. So electrical, we have here southeast quad. They're going to be working on the southeast quad for 3 days. And then they're going to be working on the northeast quad the rest of the week. Plumbing, it's southwest quad, northeast quad, southeast quad, and northwest quad. So what's really helpful is going to a floor plan and talking about that, and you can even color these in a conjunction with the colors that they have here so that everyone knows where everyone's working that week. So everyone's detailed their schedule. Many times they come into the meeting with these tasks already written down. So that's the habit you want to create. This can be done in place of the subcontractor meeting as well. You don't need to go through many of those certain tasks and items we have to talk about, for instance, safety and things like that. That could be a 10, 15-minute brief overview, and then we talk about the planning. What's nice too is everybody puts their plan up on the board before they've really collaborated about this. And so you can start talking about the negotiations of where people are going to be working. For instance, one major component of collaboration and coordination with underground is the grade beams and the piping. Which goes first? So for instance, our grade beam guy is going to be, our concrete guy is going to be starting grade beam form and excavation on Monday. At the same time, plumbing underground, the southwest quadrant is going to be beginning, and electrical underground is going to be beginning. So this automatically brings up the question and helps collaborate the question of who's going first. So you can start talking about that. Maybe it's the grade beam will go first, and then you go underneath the grade beam. The plumber will go underneath the grade beam. However you want to decide on your project is your product. But this helps bring those questions up so that if the parties need to change their work, they can easily do so. So let's say what's agreed is the electrical underground in this quadrant is not going to be interfering with this work at all. So that's a non-issue. However, this will be an issue because column lines 1 to 4 is in the southwest quadrant. So it's as easy as just shifting these down. To reorganize the work so that this plan can be successful during the week. So once you do that, then you can start talking about and looking at the schedule. Now, this task of plumbing underground, during our pool schedule, we agreed that it would be a 3-day task. As you can see right here, it's a 4-day task. So automatically you can start asking, why does this differ from the pool schedule that was agreed upon over there? There might be a change of personnel. Maybe that superintendent planned it, and then this superintendent is a new superintendent and wasn't aware of that. Maybe there's material issues. Maybe there's coordination issues. Whatever the idea is, it's our goal to get to the bottom of that and figure out why is this changing, and to make sure that it stays on schedule with the pool plan that we've all agreed to. So once we start talking about this, then he might or she might say, well, we're doing these in different quads, and so that added more time. So we can start having the conversation of, should we split it up differently, or could we incorporate the last quad into some of these other works? So that's what we've decided, is that we could probably do the northwest quad at the same time we're doing the northeast quad. So it's as simple as moving that here. So this helps determine our weekly work. Everybody agrees to this. Everybody knows where everybody's working. You can even break it out by building, if you have multiple buildings, by floor, if you have multiple floors. Whatever it is, it really helps to organize your weekly work. Another great tool to use is taking a picture of this and printing it off and putting it at the place of work. So say, for instance, this is for level 1. You print it off, maybe put it in a sleeve, and just place at level 1 so everyone knows where they're working. If these were determining where rooms were where the electrician's going to be working in rooms, then everyone else knows that if they're working in rooms that they didn't schedule, they can get on in the field and say, hey, we did not agree to this. Look here, here's the schedule right here. You did not say you were going to do that. This helps keep everybody accountable and yet have good collaboration and feedback into the schedule as well. And if there is a major event, say a lot of rain came in, then you can easily just move these down and reschedule that. You're always working within sight of the pool plan. You want that posted in the same area as this so that you always have that to reference. So you're talking about this week in detail, and you're tracking it in our next phase of the percent plan